Hello all, we are the students of St.Bede's Academy here with our Chemistry Art Integrated project on unit cell and void cell. There are three types of unit cell: primitive unit cell, body-centered cubic unit cell, and face-centered cubic unit cell. And there are two types of void cells: tetrahedral voids and octahedral voids. So now let's get started with primitive unit cell. In primitive unit cell, the atoms are present only at the corners. Every atom at the corner is shared amongst 8 adjacent unit cells. There are 4 unit cells in the same layer and 4 in the upper layer. Therefore, a particular unit cell has only 1 by 8th of an atom. Each small sphere in the following figure represents the center of a particle that occupies a particular position and not its size.
BCC Body Centered Cubic Unit Cell. A BCC unit cell has atoms at each corner of the cube and an atom at the center of the structure. The diagram shown below is an open structure. According to this structure, the atom at the body center wholly belongs to the unit cell in which it is present. In BCC unit cell, every corner has atoms.
Face-centered cubic unit cell (FCC). An FCC unit cell contains atoms at all the corners of the crystal lattice and at the center of all the faces of the cube. The atom present at the face centered is shared between two adjacent unit cells, and only half of each atom belongs to an individual cell. In FCC unit cell, atoms are present in all the corners of the crystal lattice. Also, there is an atom present at the center of every face of the cube. This face center atom is shared between two adjacent unit cells. Only half of each atom belongs to a unit cell.
A tetrahedral void lies in the center of a 4-atom cluster within the crystal. In the picture at the left, the tetrahedral void is the space between spheres making by the glow.
Octahedral voids. In close packing, the number of octahedral voids is equal to the number of spheres. Thus, there is only one octahedral void associated with each sphere. Radius of octahedral void in relation to the radius of the sphere is 0.414.
Let's find the coordination number of face-centered cubic, that is FCC. It is also called as cubic close packed. This is how it looks. But let's try to analyze using another structure. Here I have used two different colors to differentiate corner atoms and face-centered atoms. The green ones are corner atoms and the purple ones are face-centered atoms. Now let's consider a part of its lattice. Here our intention is to make the structure as simple as possible. So let's consider only two unit cells in it. Before finding the coordination number, I want to make you clear that this structure is not the exact structure of face-centered cubic lattice. In reality, these face-centered atoms are in contact with these corner atoms like this. But here we have intentionally kept some space between them so that we are able to see this particular element, which I am going to take as my reference element, and I'm going to find the coordination number for this structure. As we can see, these four face centered atoms are in contact with it, these four corner atoms are also in contact with it, and these four corner atoms are in contact with it, and hence we can say the coordination number of this structure is 12. Now let's consider the BCC structure, that is body centered cubic structure. This looks similar to primitive cubic structure, but the difference is it has an atom in between them. This is called body center atom. Now let's consider its lattice. So it looks quite complex, but let's consider this atom so that it will be easy for us to find the coordination number. So let's find how many atoms are related with this. These four are related, and the other four which are behind these are related with it. So let's consider this. Now what we have got is a unit cell of body centered cubic. So what we considered was this atom, and we have got 8 other atoms which is bonded to this particular atom. So we can say that the coordination number of body centered cubic is 8. Now let's consider primitive cubic structure. Let's find the coordination number of this structure. First, let's understand what is coordination number. Coordination number is the number of atoms to which each atom of the lattice is belonging to or bonded to. Now let's consider a part of primitive cubic lattice. Let's find the coordination number of this lattice. For that, let's find the coordination number of an atom. Let's consider this atom and let's find how many atoms are bonded to this particular atom. As you can see, it is bonded to this atom and the one which is behind it, the one which is above it, and the one which is below it, and the other two which is beside it. So we'll remove all the other structures and let's consider this. As we know, this is the atom which we considered, and the other atoms we can see are the ones which is bonded to this particular atom. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the other one. 6 atoms are bonded to this atom, and hence coordination number of primitive cubic structure is 6.